So what if I told you that for years, maybe your whole life, we've been drinking water all wrong? It sounds crazy, right? But there's a secret to hydration, one that's been passed down by desert nomads for centuries. And it doesn't just quench your thirst, it could be a key to boosting your energy and maybe even slowing down the aging process. Let's get into this ancient wisdom.
I want you to picture the harshest environment on the planet. We're talking temperatures hitting 50 degrees Celsius. That's a scorching 122 Fahrenheit. Out here, water is literally more precious than gold. A single day without it is a fatal mistake. Now, this is an extreme setting for sure, but it holds a crucial lesson about that fatigue and thirst so many of us feel, even in our comfy, air-conditioned lives.
And yet, in this absolutely brutal landscape, the Bedouin nomads don't just get by, they actually thrive. They walk for miles and miles under that blazing sun. And what's truly astonishing is their vitality. You see elders, people in their 70s and 80s, just full of energy. So you have to ask, what on earth do they know about hydration that we don't?
And that question, it leads us right to this paradox in our own lives. I mean, we have unlimited access to water. We're all told drink 8 glasses a day. We do it, but so many of us still feel chronically tired, foggy, and thirsty. It turns out the problem isn't about how much we're drinking, but how we're drinking it.
I mean, just look at this contrast. It is absolutely striking. On one side, you've got a Bedouin elder, totally energetic and blistering heat, and on the other, a modern office worker in a comfortable, climate-controlled room, feeling completely drained even though they're guzzling water all day long. This isn't about the environment. It's all about the method.
To make this really hit home, let's talk about a real person, Yusuf. He's a 74-year-old doctor, so, he thought he knew the human body inside and out. He followed all the rules, drank his 8 glasses a day, but he was just plagued by fatigue, constant headaches, and that annoying dry skin. No matter how much water he drank, he felt dehydrated.
Well, Yusuf's entire perspective was about to get flipped on its head. He took a trip to Morocco and joined a Bedouin caravan out in the Sahara. It was led by an 82-year-old elder named Salim. And what he learned from Salim out there in the desert would challenge decades of his own medical training.
So Yusuf just had to ask Salim, what is your secret? How are you so vital? And Salim's answer was so simple, yet it went against everything Yusuf believed. He just said, when you drink a large amount all at once, your body cannot absorb it. Basically, chugging a huge glass of water doesn't really hydrate you. Your body just can't handle that sudden flood.
So what did Salim do instead? His whole method was about consistency, not volume. Just 3 or 4 small sips at a time. But, and this is the key, repeated every 20-30 minutes. Think of it like watering a really dry houseplant. If you just dump a whole bucket of water on it, most of it just runs straight through. But a slow, steady drip, that allows the soil and your body cells to actually absorb it.
And what's so fascinating is that modern science completely backs up this ancient wisdom. It turns out our bodies can only absorb about a cup of water, maybe a little more at any given time. Gulp anything more than that, and you just send a signal to your kidneys to flush it all out. And when that water leaves, it takes essential minerals, your electrolytes, right along with it. So get this, by drinking too much, too fast, you can actually make yourself less hydrated. Wild, right?
Okay, but the sipping method, that was only half the story. Salim then revealed another secret, and this one might sound completely backward based on everything we hear. He never drank plain water. And this is where the crucial, game-changing role of salt comes in.
I love this analogy from Salim. He said that water without salt is like bread without wheat. It fills you up, sure, but it doesn't nourish you. He explained that salt is the key that unlocks the door to your cells, allowing water to get inside where it's actually needed. Without it, the water just runs straight through you.
So how can we actually apply this? It's surprisingly simple. The Bedouins add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt per liter of water. But, and this is super important, the type of salt is critical. We are not talking about regular old table salt. You want to use unrefined sea salt, Himalayan salt, or Celtic sea salt. Why? Because these are packed with dozens of other trace minerals, like magnesium and potassium, not just sodium. You're giving your body the whole electrolyte toolkit it needs for real hydration.
And again, the science on this is crystal clear. True hydration isn't just about H2O, it's about electrolytes. Think of sodium as a tiny little gatekeeper for each of your cells. It's the mineral that literally opens the cellular door and pulls water from your bloodstream into the cells where you need it to be. When you drink too much plain water, you actually dilute the sodium in your blood, and your body's emergency response is to flush out that excess water to rebalance everything, leaving your cells high and dry.
But there was one more piece of wisdom from Salim that surprised Yusuf the most. He said the very best water isn't something you drink at all. It's something you eat. This is the final piece of the hydration puzzle: getting water from your plate.
See, when you eat foods like cucumbers, which are like 96% water, or melons, that water isn't just free-flowing. It's trapped inside the food's natural structure, along with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This means your body digests it slowly, releasing that water gradually over hours. It's basically like a natural, time-release hydration capsule that's way more efficient than just a glass of plain water.
At the same time, Salim warned about what he called water thieves. These are habits that actively dehydrate you. You know the obvious ones, right? Too much coffee, alcohol, sugary stuff. But then he pointed out a really surprising one: breathing through your mouth. In the desert, breathing through your nose is a survival tactic. It's incredible, but you can lose up to 40% more body moisture just by being a mouth breather.
So Yusuf, the doctor who thought he knew it all, took this ancient wisdom back home to his modern life. He put it all into practice, and the results, well, they were truly transformative. Let's take a look at what happened.
The changes started off small, but they were profound. Within just 1 week of sipping salted water and eating his hydration, Yusuf felt his energy completely stabilize. No more of those afternoon crashes. After a month, his chronic headaches were just gone. And by the 3rd month, he noticed what felt like reverse aging. His dry skin was softer, his joint pain was actually easing up. His body was finally getting the deep, cellular hydration it had been screaming for.
Okay, now before you run to the kitchen to put salt in your water, hold on. There are some very, very important things to consider here. This is crucial. Be responsible. If you have any health conditions, especially anything related to your kidneys or blood pressure, you absolutely must talk to your doctor first. For everyone else, start gradually, just a tiny pinch of high-quality salt. And most importantly, listen to your body.
So let's bring this all together into a simple plan. First, sip your water, don't gulp it. Second, add a tiny pinch of mineral-rich salt to help your cells actually absorb it. Third, try starting your day with warm water to gently wake up your system. Fourth, eat your water. Prioritize those water-rich foods. And finally, a simple but powerful one: breathe through your nose to conserve moisture with every single breath.
You know, the Bedouin learned to listen to their bodies and to the harsh wisdom of the desert. For years, so many of us have just been following these modern rules that our bodies might be telling us aren't really working. So this brings me to a final question for you to think about. After hearing all this, what's the one small change you might make to how you hydrate?